Anyway, check out rebelcomicsalliance.com. You can subscribe to them on iTunes. Listen to their podcast. It's free. They a really cool couple of guys, Sawyer and Kalen. They know their goddamn comics, so tune into that.
I'd love to talk to you about how the prequels should have not been.
Yeah. Yeah, the prequels to
Star Wars.
To the Star Wars. Well, I think everybody... I haven't gotten their take on that, but I think everybody agrees.
I know what they could have done to make them better.
What's that?
You just start Anakin at like 18.
Yeah. Yeah, that little kid thing, I didn't really... Like, that was the whole first movie. Like, once they got Christian Hayden, was that his name?
Hayden Christensen.
Once they got him, like, he added a different dynamic to it with that little kid stuff. Like, I didn't get that.
But even he wasn't all that great of an actor either. But I'm not putting that on those guys so much as I'm putting it on the director who was like, okay, next.
Yeah, who was directing that film?
That would have been George Lucas on all three of them.
Wait, he directed it? I thought he just produced it.
No, he directed the 3 movies.
Oh, jeez.
The first 3. Yeah, but I mean, this is a guy who is so... He's the boss. Nobody's telling him no. He's financing the motherfucker.
Right.
You know, it's George.
Lucasfilms.
Yeah, George.
Right.
Maybe you don't have some creature CGI in the foreground to set up the shot.
Right. What?
Maybe you don't do that every time.
We've come a long way, George.
George, maybe we don't do a poop joke right here. Right. Maybe we don't.
Right.
You know what?
Whose goddamn name is on the sign? You bite your tongue, young man.
Who signed your checks?
Oh, right. I didn't think that he directed the prequels.
Yeah, he directed the prequels, directed the first Star Wars.
Right.
But then was the producer.
For Empire Strikes Back?
And Jedi, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but he still had say-so. As far as on those other ones. I mean, it's still a Lucasfilm production.
Well, yeah, and now that Disney's got a hold of it.
I mean, did you read that article where like they asked George Lucas like if anybody at current Lucasfilm would ask him his opinion on what the new ones are going to be, and he goes, I gave him some notes. I don't think they took any of them.
Wow.
Like, no, wow. $3 billion or however much they paid for Lucasfilm means that we don't have to listen to you anymore, George.
Well, right. I mean, he went through that nasty divorce with his wife, and he had to sell off all of his assets or whatever. That's the only reason that he sold it to Disney, allegedly.
Did he get married again? I don't know. I don't keep up on.
I think he did.
He got divorced out from his first wife after Star Wars. The first Star Wars.
I think this might be his second divorce that he got divorced with. And with Disney and Pixar being so closely related, like their graphic design team, I'm sure will have their hands in it too.
I don't think they're kind of separate houses.
Well, I know that Pixar, basically works more in like not video game graphics, but not realistic graphics, if you will. Like Toy Story, you don't look at Kevin,
right?
And
that's what ILM is for. When they bought Lucasfilm, they also bought ILM, Industrial Light and Magic.
Okay.
So that's the CGI side. That's the special effects side. Pixar used to be... Oh, God, I'm working out so much. Pixar used to be owned by Lucasfilm, but Steve Jobs bought Pixar.
Yep, because it was failing with Lucasfilm.
Or just so Lucas didn't see the initial use for it at the time, as far as like there was no use for it in any movies that he was making.
And I think Steve Jobs at that point, he still owned that computer company in between Apple and Apple. He tried that one. It was called like Cube or something. Mm-hmm. Can't remember what it was called, but
maybe greatest.
Next. It was called Next.
Greatest corporate comeback in history.
Yeah, and then he just completely, Steve Jobs, hero. But so you're saying that that Lucas said I gave him a couple of ideas and they didn't take it.
Yeah, and I gave him notes on what I would have done. I guess we're not doing any of it, which gives me hope. Well, fuck New Hope being episode 4. New Hope is episode 7.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm looking forward to this, man.
Yeah, I guess that would be cool. When did the trailers come out? Because it's supposed to be out like
it's supposed to come out December 18th, which is off the rails as far as what they normally did, because they normally would release them in May.
Summer blockbuster kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean they were always released in May.
Well, then why don't they just hold on to it till the next May?
I don't think they want to hold on to it that long, because they have a lot of lot of other movies that are coming out too. Because there's, I guess, are they supposed to stagger them one every other year? Maybe Star Wars movie one every other year.
Every other year?
Yeah, like it'll be like there'll be this new trilogy, and then there'll be a Boba Fett story or a
okay. So there's okay.
an outside universe Star Wars movie.
So these three are these happen after the first three,
right?
Okay, and then what you're saying is that like
and everybody's waiting to see what how they're going to use the three main characters that are back.
Are they actually going to use?
They were in the movie. They are in the movie.
Carrie Fisher.
Yes. Harrison Ford. Yes.
Wow. And
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm looking forward to too. Is like how are they going to pull this one off?
Right.
Some of these folks are aging better than others.
Sure. Well, didn't Mark get in like a tragic motorcycle accident?
Well, he got an
right
accident
after.
Yeah, he had an accident right after or right before Empire started shooting. So that's why he looks kind of different.
Because his face had some scar.
Yeah, and I think that's why they end up doing that scene where the Tauntaun scene. Because that way they could explain away
why. Okay, smart, makes sense. I just thought that was a really good makeup artist. No, it was his real face.
It's real face, man. Through the whole movie, it seems unnecessary. He just has a different face.
I thought it was years and years. Like, shouldn't that have healed by now? But whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I know that Danielle won't go to see it with me, but
no interest. Yeah.
No, man. There was one time she still brings it up on the show that there was a time when she didn't have to work, and I was like, "You have not seen Star Wars?" And she was like, "No." I was like, went got every VHS tape, and we were about halfway through Empire Strikes Back when work called her and said somebody called off. Would you mind coming into work? And she was like, "Yep, yeah, I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be sorry, honey, I gotta go."
Oh,
yeah. And then I was just like, "Oh, it's not fun watching it by myself. Like
I've done this. I do this all the time.
It's the fun part,
showing it to somebody new. Do you have a movie that would cause you to judge somebody if they didn't like it?
A movie that would,
like you test whether or not this person can be your friend on whether or not based on whether or not they like this film.
No, I really can't say that I do. No, I mean no, not really. I don't get why people like constantly trash Titanic.
Well, you're a romantic at heart, Bill.
Well,
even was that last week when I came here and right before the podcast started, it was on.
Yeah, Titanic, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was that just on TV or were you watching?
No, it was on TV. No, I can't help what makes syndication. I can't help that. So anytime it's on, dude, I have to watch it. It's a
commitment though.
It is, especially on cable. You stretch that shit out for like 4 or 5 hours. So yeah, it is. But that's why I like having it on, and I can go about my business and check in on it and skip all the parts that I don't necessarily like. But I mean, one movie. What do you got to have one?
That movie changes. I think this depends on the relationship that you're having with the individual.
Oh, okay.
Band guys, like what you don't know. This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah. This is Spinal Tap. That's great. But I mean, like, if Joe wouldn't have showed me it, I would have never seen it. And Joe comes from like his parents were always like into that kind of spoof stuff and that comedy. So it wouldn't have been that through any fault of my own. But yeah, I mean, it's a great movie.
Well, what kind of movies were the parents watching when you were growing up? I mean,
it was a lot of television, a lot of Miami Vice.
Yeah. The folks, a lot of pastels. A lot of
turtlenecks.
Dad, put on some socks, man.
Right. It was horrible. You should have seen me at my first communion. I had the Don Johnson, the whole outfit. I had everything
a pink
done.
Shirt and a
Yep.
white blazer and matching pants.
Well, what we want you guys to do is check out Viewpoint Podcast Network. They have a whole bunch of podcasts. They range from pop culture to business and technology. Find your new favorite show at viewpointnetwork.com today. And then this is an interesting one. Have you ever been to a horse race? Like actually to a horse race? And
No.
I've done it once. And I went down to the railing because I always heard that you have to go down to the railing. Like just go stand there.
Okay.
And you see the horses like all the way on the other side of the track and you don't really think too much of it. And then all of a sudden some shit starts shaking and like you start feeling like just like wind and vibration and heat. The closer that they get and when they go by you, dude, it's the scariest shit. Like I acted like a little bitch. I was like, ah! Like it scared me. Like I had to take a couple steps back, and there are people in the front rows that are like, "What's up with douche?" But yeah, really, really cool. You should go sometime. I was really drunk.
Or just because like the massive amount of power that's coming through there, just rumbling like the ground, and then
8 horses that are like thoroughbreds running top speed at you, and it's just like it's so intense to stand that close to it. When I mean like. The one time that I saw it, there were 2 horses that were trying to pass along the outside. So, I mean, obviously they were closer to me than the ones next to the rail. But, yeah, it was intense. It was intense. They got one up in Chicago. You should try it sometime. We should make a road trip.
You're gonna deal with it better this time.
I hope so.
If not, bring your big hat, lady.
Right. You can follow them on Twitter at @WinnersCircle. It's a brand new horse racing website to hit the market. They have a free chat room, open forum, free daily picks and giveaways, koozies, pens, and t-shirts. All 100% free for their members, and it's 100% free to sign up. They have a premium section gearing up towards the 2050 Kentucky Derby, which will allow users to get premium handicap picks from all of the Derby races. Check them out and follow them on Twitter at @WinnersCircle. Now, it's that time for the Uber fact. And I'm gonna see if this is true. When you, Gregory, spot a female that you find attractive, do you hold your gaze for 8.2 seconds?
Sounds like a rodeo.
It says here that when a man spots a woman he finds attractive, he usually holds his gaze for about 8.2 seconds. Doesn't that sound like a fucking long time?
Yeah, especially time it out.
Like, I mean, isn't that like a creep kind of move?
I would think so.
Okay. All right. Apparently,
especially if that person's looking right back at you.
Like, yeah, right.
Yeah. Got a knife there, Captain?
Right. Well, like, okay, even if she's not, that's still like you've got to be in the middle of doing something if you're out in public. Like even walking, like you can't like hold your gaze.
That's down here 10 seconds.
Yeah.
We'll do that right now. It's creepy shit.
That is weird, dude. That was almost 9 seconds. That is like, So yeah, creepos. Yeah, back the hell off. Yeah, if I'd see, we've I just introduced Danielle to the terminology rubbernecking.
Oh, as far as like an accident or something that's going on,
well,
as you're passing it, or just not paying attention to your own business.
She caught me one time. There's a pretty girl walked by, and she's not the type to like get really upset about that. She'll just bring it to my attention, give me shit for like 5 minutes, and then that'll be the end of it. But I consider myself a very good rubbernecker, and I've noticed that most men are not. Like they don't care; they'll just like talk to your tits if they want. I mean, do you feel like your rubbernecking ability is to its highest peak?
I don't know. I like to think that I don't do that much.
Okay.
But, because at this point in my life, I'm just like, is she nice? Can I carry a conversation with her?
Can she talk to me about Star Wars?
Do you think she'll like Spinal Tap?
So are you sticking with Spinal Tap?
Speaking of
getting back, to the movie that defines.
I don't know. Again, it's different. Spinal Tap is one where if a girl watches it, if she gets it, she might be lying to you. Like,
yeah,
because it's really dry.
Right.
And unless you're in a band, you wouldn't get all the jokes.
Right.
So she's like way into it. Like, okay, you're liking this because you are pretty keen on the idea that I like it. So you want to like it too. If she likes Blazing Saddles, marry her.
Okay. Okay. So, like, is there any movie that always is, either on Netflix or